From historic Keyworth Stadium, a rivalry is renewed today as Lansing United comes calling, and the Rouge is ready, and we're ready too. Detroit City FC and Lansing United coming up next. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside historic Keyworth Stadium, where today a huge 3 points are at stake as Lansing United travels to Hamtramck to take on Detroit City FC. Thank you for tuning in wherever you may be watching around the world. My name is Neil Rule, joined alongside my broadcast partner, the coach, Cale Wasserman. Happy to have you with us here this afternoon. And Cale, you take a look at the standings here. A vital 3 points on the line between these two teams. If you have any fashion or any inkling of catching Ann Arbor, you have to get this 3 points here today.
Yeah, midway through the season, the table is starting to set itself, and with vital points on the line, both teams are going to want to bounce back from a couple tough games. Obviously, Lansing with a late mistake last game, dropping points at home, and then DCFC conceding some goals on the road. Both teams are going to be on edge today with some extra added pressure, trying to get themselves back up into the top half of the table.
Both these teams, no doubt about it, looking to get the sting, that taste out of their mouth from two setbacks that they suffered the last time out on Friday night. As we take a look at the pregame match report, these two teams, Detroit City FC with a 2-1-1 all-time mark against Lansing United, culminating last season with a 1-0 Detroit City win. Will Mellors-Blair outran everybody and scored the goal. But when these two teams hook up, you know it's going to be tight. You know you're in for some good soccer.
Yeah, there's been some historical moments in the first 4 games they've played each other, but today all that's out the window. Everybody on the field's going to know each other. Players know each other, players know the coaches know each other, they know each other's style, and if they can avoid the mistakes that have hurt them the last couple games, we're in for some fireworks today.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited to get things going, and we will have it for you in just a couple moments. Lansing United and Detroit City FC coming up next. Live stream coverage of the Detroit City Football Club is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. DCFC gets additional support from Blake's Hard Cider, Axel Brewing, 313 Energy, Anytime Fitness, Fago, Flagstar Bank, The Folding Warehouse, Stroh's, Henry Ford Health System, M1 Imaging. Live stream coverage of the Detroit City Football Keyworth Stadium, where today the Lansing United and Detroit City FC will square off in what proves to be a very pivotal NPSL matchup. We talked about it in the open a little bit. Neil Rule back here with Cale Wasserman as we continue to get you ready for NPSL action. And right now we will send it down to our PA announcer, Ted Shoemaker. Check that. We will
Number 18, Bradley Centella.
With me, my name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us wherever you may be watching around the world. But Cale, we made mention about it. A very big game here. I mean, there's no other way that you can slice this up right now. Now, Ann Arbor did everybody a favor today, leaving 2 points on the table in their match against Dayton. You have to capitalize here today.
Yeah, Dayton helped the rest of the league out by scoring a late penalty shot in the 88th minute. Basically opened things up for everybody, and this something to consider today is this is the second game of the weekend for both of these guys, so it'll be interesting to see early on how they approach this game, high pressure, low pressure, with so much on the line.
Absolutely. And how about the effects of this? Look, you're an assistant coach at Michigan State. You coached this Detroit City FC team back in 2012. When you have these Friday night, Sunday afternoon tilts, I mean, that's 180 minutes of soccer in a 36 minutes or 36-hour span. That's a lot.
Yeah, Friday was hot, and the way Saturday went, I don't know if either one of these teams were able to practice yesterday. Maybe did some recovery, but it was 96 degrees yesterday. So hydration's going to play a part. The turf being hotter than grass is going to play a part. So both teams like to step and press press higher up the field. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that for 90 minutes. They may have to adjust a little bit.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the starting 11 for both the squads here today in this NPSL matchup. Very pivotal as we take a look at the starting 11 for Detroit City FC. And they will be led by Cyrus Sadie. And, you know, Kale, you look at what Cyrus Sadie's done on the season, 2 goals in just 3 contests. He's a vet. You know what you're going to get with him every time he steps on the field.
Yes. Cyrus has been around for a long, long time in the state of Michigan. Had a great college career, and he's been with DCFC since the very start. So.
And right now they are honoring the victims in Orlando with a moment of silence. We will take it with them.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for the national anthem, led by the Detroit City FC supporters section.
Section just moments away from Detroit City FC and the Lansing United. Lansing United, the goalkeeper today will be Jimmy Haig. Now Haig played on Friday night in their 1-0 loss to Ann Arbor. He was Lansing United's man of the match. He was injured in that game, went off before the end of that contest. But he will get the start here today, talking with a couple of Lansing United people. They're not quite sure how many minutes they're going to get out of him today, but we'll see as that plays itself out here this afternoon. Very balanced Lansing United attack. Just 4 players on the roster have yet to register a shot. So the shots are going to come from everywhere, Cale.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I talked to Coach Nate Miller from Lansing, and they've had a lot of possession. They've dominated some games in that respect, but they have had a hard time getting goals and even creating enough chances. And when they do, they haven't finished enough. So he said that they might be making a few changes to get some quicker, more creative players up front in front of the net in the final third. So it'll be interesting to see who he goes with in what position, not just who, but where he's putting guys today.
And talking with some of the people from Lansing United, they said they've had a lot of Pictionary this season, a lot of draws, 3 of them this year. Detroit City with 2 draws as well. So we will see how things shake out. We keep going back to it because it's true, a very pivotal 3 points up for grabs. Ben Pierman, the head coach in his 4th season, also the assistant coach at Michigan State, as is my broadcast partner here today, Cale Wasserman. Pierman was a 3-year starter at Michigan State, where he went to 3 NCAA tournaments. The assistant coaches, Adil Salmoni, Colby Cunningham, and Josh Rogers. The goalkeeping coach, another guy you might know, Brett Mullen.
Yeah, there's a lot of Michigan State Spartans represented, as well as a lot of people from a lot of different schools. But actually, Lansing United is starting 4 different Spartans today. So they're going to have a little extra incentive to get after Coach Pierman today, and we'll see how that plays out in the 90 minutes.
Absolutely. So we're ready to rock here in Detroit City. We'll take possession first. The ball sitting under the left foot of Danny Deacon. Deacon this year with a goal and 3 assists gets things rolling. And away we go here from historic Keyworth Stadium in Hamtramck. Neil Rule, Cale Wasserman with you. Settle in. Let's kick it. And as always, the first 15 minutes of action brought to you by Henry Ford Health System.
Look looking at this start right away, it looks like Lansing has already moved some players around, putting Danny Brandt and Stevenson Storm up top, and they brought high pressure early, and Detroit was able to break it down and get into the end. Nothing coming from the cross, but that's a good start for Detroit.
Now, if you're Lansing United here, and we talked about where they are in the table with those 3 draws, Cale, is this something you do as a coaching staff? You just kind of reshuffle the deck? You're trying to find something that's going to spark you. I mean, this Lansing United team, they've led for a total of 59 minutes this year. So something the coaches felt that they needed to at least shuffle the deck a little bit, get a little bit different look. Yeah,
I do. I think it's a combination of both, not only trying to put some different guys, but with the change of the system a little bit, going to a 4-4-2, that might be something coming off being the second game of the weekend where they're looking to, gain some ground and let some territory up, but now they're going to have some speed up there to counterattack.
Tommy Catalano gives chase. That ball goes out, and the foul will go against Tommy. Catalano, very physical player. He'll stick his nose in there. Let's take a look at our game time weather. It's sunny at 75 degrees. This is about as perfect as it's going to get. That 92, 93 degree action yesterday. Nobody wants that. Nobody needs that. The ball's played out. The foul is called. So Detroit City will retake possession. 2 minutes in to the match. Nick Steinwasser, the starting goalkeeper for Detroit City. Former Detroit Mercy great.
Yeah, with Lansing's 4-4-2, it doesn't look like they're lowering their line much. We'll see if they can sustain this high line and higher pressure for a long stretch with heavy legs, but it looks like they're coming out ready to force some turnovers.
Very aggressive play by Andrew Hill, and that results in an opportunity, and that shot misses the left post just wide. But Andrew Hill with that pressure, as you talked about, Cale, they're coming out very aggressive and almost bore fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. This early in the game, and especially after the results that both of these teams have had, both teams are going to be wary of some mistakes, and DCFC got caught overplaying a little bit against that high pressure. So they'll need to adjust and play through some stuff and even hit some long balls to get out of some of this.
Cale, and having the opportunity to call the game against FC Manchester with Steve Koppel, he talked about the importance of the first touch, and when you're going against a team that's very high pressure, that puts even more pressure on your first touch. You have to be crisp with it.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of field sizes and dimensions in this league. I walked the field before the game. It's about 68 yards wide, which is semi-narrow in the grand scheme of things. Most professional fields are about 75 yards. So with that narrow space, there's just less time on the ball. So if you can't be crisp with your touch, you're going to put yourself into tough situations.
Coming up near the 4-minute mark. Neil Rule, Cale Wasserman with you. Happy to have you along wherever you may be watching. Also, if you're watching on FoxSportsDetroit.com, appreciate you checking us out there as well. Have that action for you all season long. That ball played out of bounds by Seth Harris. Throw-in coming up for Lansing United. So the jockeying for position begins. Dewey Lewis tosses it towards the box. Right-footed blast will go over top of the wall and out towards the train tracks.
Yeah, they're going to be happy to get out with the clearance out of bounds there on the long shot, because last game DCFC conceded a long throw goal on the west side over there. So they're going to have to be careful with those long throws all game today.
Brad Santala launched that one over top of the bar, guy you're familiar with.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give him some stick and make sure he starts putting those on net.
Later, though, not today.
Right, I'll wait till after the game. We don't get to coach our own players till August, so he's got some time.
There's a slick move by Zach Shiwi. Shiwi plays it up. On the run is Jeff Adkins. Adkins taken down, so the first dangerous restart will come here for Detroit City. Adkins, the M1 man of the match on Friday. Former great at Butler.
And you reference first touch, and guys like Adkins and Sadie, those are the guys that are going to draw a lot of fouls with quick little touches as well as their explosive movement. So if they can draw some set pieces out of that, it's going to be dangerous going forward.
So here we go. Right foot sent towards the box, and it's headed away at the last moment. The header actually went wide to the left, so a goal kick upcoming. But a very dangerous service. By far the best chance of the match so far for Detroit City.
Yeah, it's good to see Troy Watson getting his head in there a little bit. He's known for being good in the air, but more in a defensive role, playing at that holding midfield position. So we'll see if guys like him and Edwardson can get forward on those set pieces. But let's have a look and see how Lansing starts to try to build out of the back, and you can see they're very, very open on this start here.
Nearly a turnover there through the midfield. And now it is turned over. Talked about Troy Watson in his second season here for Detroit City, the third most minutes played in a rookie season last year, 823.
He's an athletic player, but you can see him make some forward passes out of midfield like that to get guys into the attack. So if he can get DCFC in some positions, he's doing his job as long as he breaks up those counterattacks.
Seb Harris will send that long ball towards the right corner of the box. The whistle sounds and the foul is called. And there's some chippiness right away.
Neither team wants to back down. There's a lot on the line on this game, and this first 15 minutes looks like Mark Lawrence, the center referee's having some words and trying to get this back under control, but it's good to see him keep the cards in the pocket early.
Tommy Catalano, as you might expect, right in the middle of everything going on. The former Oakland University great, played there from 2008 to 2010. Won an NCAA tournament game during his time there. Now here comes Jeff Adkins on the left side. Pass to the middle. Played away. Here comes a counter attack for the Lansing United. Stevenson Storm on the left side with some miscommunication there. That pass too strong.
And I think that's going to be the biggest test for DCFC, is to see if they can deal with some of these counter-attacking moments that have hurt them these last couple games. And Andrew Hill sprung Stevenson Storm on his first touch, and they're going to have to be aware of that because they've got some speed up top today.
Troy Watson through the midfield connects with his pass to Cyrus Sadie. Now Watson will get it back. Good slide tackle there by the captain, Dave Edwardson. Pops away from Edwardson. Andrew Hill played it. Here comes Dewey Lewis. Optimistic pass connects onto the right side. Stevenson Storm with it. Not able to do much.
That is almost an identical pass from Dewey Lewis. 2 Fridays ago, he got an assist against Grand Rapids at home. Just a little chip over the top to a front runner, and he's got good weight on that pass, which gets Stevenson into a dangerous opportunity there.
Very impressive, the touch, too, in this high wind situation.
Yeah, the wind's a factor, as well as the turf is a hard, older turf field, so they're going to have to be clean on those first touches to get it under control.
Ball squirts free back towards the midfield. Lansing will control it. Pass can connect with Andrew Hill. Now in the midfield, here comes Catalano, and his shot is blocked by Grant Stoneman. Here comes City again. That pass sent out to Adkins. Adkins tried to control it, wanted a handball called. No dice, says the official. That ball cleared out. Adkins was convinced that was a handball. So another throw-in coming for Detroit City. Get a look at Ben Pierman in his 4th season here with Detroit City. Caesar, as he's known. The Northern Guard. Jeff Adkins controls it. Nifty touch into the box. Cyrus Sadie. Drop it back. Sadie turns. Whistle comes away from the ball. And that foul will go against Detroit City.
You can see Detroit's getting into some good positions here, but have not yet really challenged the goalkeeper. So they may leave themselves open for a little counterattack if they don't start getting something out of this deep possession there.
And right now it's time for the Better Made Fun Fact. Keyworth Stadium is named after the late M.R. Keyworth, who was superintendent of Hamtramck Public Schools from 1925 to 1956. So you see, guys, the broadcast, fun and informative, and a learning opportunity for us all.
Another long throw opportunity here. We'll see how Detroit can handle Dewey Lewis, who takes our long throws when we choose to take him at Michigan State, and he can put some pace on him as well. So we'll see what he can get out of this.
So Lewis will trot over. And here we go. It's pretty much a de facto corner kick. Ball tossed in. Steinwasser had it, lost it, and got it back. Northern Guard into it as they always are. 12 minutes into this contest, still no score. Some good back and forth action, some good possession by both sides.
Yeah, I like the balance of both teams. Both teams have put a lineup together with a lot of physicality, but also some quick technical players, and I think that balance is going to be important on a day like today, where there's going to have to be a lot of adjustments and improvisation on the field.
Zach Shiwi will toss it in real quick to Watson. Cyrus Sadie controls the veteran presence. Watson lets it go through. Here's Danny Deacon. Swing out to Adkins. Adkins lines it up, chips it towards the middle of the box. Nothing doing. United will play it out of bounds. Shiwi tosses in right in front of head coach Ben Bierman. Danny Deacon will try the right side.
That's a great little layoff there to get Deacon the ball, but I'd like to see him have a little idea for some combination play at times to have a one-touch into the box there.
Ball back heel, now it's swung line. Shiwi will track this down. So here comes a dangerous spot for Detroit City. Shiwi sends it into the box. Chance with the right foot, and it goes just wide of the left post.
Jimmy Haig again coming up big for Lansing. He's been great for them in the last couple games. So you got guys like TJ Stephen, who's the right back, getting a shot all the way in the 6-yard box. It's going to be very important for Jimmy Haig to take account for that.
Take another look at it. TJ Stevens right there on the doorstep. And as you said, Jimmy Haig coming up huge.
Jimmy's a rangy goalkeeper. He's great in the air. He's at 6'5". Those are the big ones for him. Can he get down low enough and make those little reaction saves? And when he's on with that, he's tough to score on.
He certainly passed the first test here today. No question about that. Catalano sees that ball go across the goal line. So goal kick awarded to Haig. Lansing United lost at home for just the second time in club history on Friday night when they fell to Ann Arbor 1-0. We made mention earlier, Jimmy Haig was the man of the match. Detroit City 2-1-1 all time against Lansing United. As you said earlier, Cale, none of that matters here today, just the 3 points do.
Yeah, everything's out the window today. There's a great environment. Guys are fired up, and both teams need points, so it should be exciting to see a few more chances come in the first half. We'll see who can capitalize.
Seb Harris will swing it out wide. Next 15 minutes of this match is presented by 313 Energy, the official energy drink of Detroit City FC.
great to see both teams opening up and really trying to build out of the back. It makes for an entertaining, attractive brand of soccer for both teams. But
Sheeby with the touch back to Adkins in the box, and a diving stop made by Haig again.
yeah, Jimmy Haig's coming up big, and if he can do that the rest of this game, it's a tough ask, but those are the moments that are going to change this game here.
Take another look at it. A good two-man game there for City, and Adkins sees a goal just off his foot on that first touch.
Yeah, both these last two chances had big foul there. Both these last two chances had TJ Stevens, the right back, getting a shot off, and then in that last shot there, Zach Sheeby, the left back, all the way in the 18-yard box. So DCFC being very aggressive with their outside backs, which is helping them create some chances here.
Danny Brandt whistled for that foul. He took exception to Seb Harris. But you can feel the chippiness in the air between these two squads.
Yeah, there's some history. These were, two of the original NPSL teams in the state, and they've got some pride on the line, both of them trying to get back up into the upper half of the standings. And like I said, a lot of personal connections. There's guys on teams that have played together, coaches that know each other, coaches that have played for certain players, and vice versa.
Troy Watson's pass runs too long. That ball popped up into the Northern Guard supporter section. Throw-in coming for City. TJ Stevens will walk over and now throw it in. Edwardson just inside that 18-yard line. Cyrus Sadie. Deacon. Adkins. Watson.
Again, they're getting the ball into good positions, but they're going to need some 1- and 2-touch combination play in that final third if they want to unlock this Lansing defense.
Steinwasser sends it too far for Seb Harris. So an unforced error there by City. Now Lansing will try the left side. Really, the first time we've seen this here today.
Yeah, that's Jake Prudhomme. He's a left back, and he got one of his first starts last game, and Nate Miller told me he had an excellent game and wanted to reward him and give him another shot. He's a very aggressive physical player, but as you can see, he's trying to get up in the attack and help create some chances with some crossing, so we'll see what happens with that.
Owen knocks that one down. Heads it on. Grant Stoneman will play it to the left side. Comes Austin Dunn with a head of steam. Hill drops it back to the right side. Stoneman. Watson unable to keep that one on the right side of the line. Throw-in coming for United. Dewey Lewis, the throw-in specialist, will step over. TJ Stevens will restart it with the throw-in. Stevens, the second-team All-GLIAC performer last year, was the M1 man of the match against Kalamazoo. The nature of his header goal. Handball called there. That goes against Dewey Lewis.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of coaching TJ for 2 years at Saginaw Valley, and he is a versatile player that's been all over the field for Coach Pierman this season. He's played center back, right back, left back, center mid, and even outside mid a little bit. So he's a guy that when he gets into dangerous situations from right back, he's comfortable enough on the ball to create some chances, and he's also athletic enough to recover.
What's that say about a guy as a player, a second-team All-GLIAC performer? And you've talked about it. This is a guy that hasn't really had a traditional home on the soccer field. This is a guy that just says, Coach, where do you need me? That's where I'll be today. And then plays the game at a level of second-team All-League performer.
Yeah, I mean, he's a passionate guy. He wants to be on the field, and he's willing to do what it takes. We had a similar situation when I coached him in Saginaw. We had an injury with our center back, and we moved him from center mid, where he was our starting center mid the first 5 games of the year, to center back where he had to play the last 13 games and never batted an eye about it.
And now on the run, here comes Tommy Catalano spinning in the box. Hits the deck, ball's touched away. So Catalano has been very dangerous here for Detroit City in this first 20 minutes plus.
Yeah, and that was a great ball by Deacon, a little bent ball in around, and Catalano can sneak behind. He's got some savvy and some experience where he should be able to tuck one away if he keeps getting chances.
Zach Shiwi with the misplay upon receiving that pass, goes out of bounds.
And that's that first touch you were talking about. He's an aggressive, attacking wingback, but he was looking forward. He was thinking 2 steps ahead, where sometimes it's better to slow yourself down and make sure you get the ball under control first.
Stevenson Storm bore the brunt of that header opportunity and hit the turf, and he is down.
Stevenson's a tough kid. He plays at Spring Arbor for head coach Nate Miller of Lansing United, so they've got a great connection, and he speaks the world of him, says he's a hard worker, and if he's staying on the ground, he's probably got a good knock. So we'll see if it affects him at all. I think he'll be able to play through it, though.
He's got that one orange cleat and the one blue cleat too, so that tells you he's a player right there.
Yeah,
you got to be a good player to pull that off.
You better be. Everybody's got bright cleats now. It used to be in my day that if you had white cleats, you better be good or you were getting fouled. But nowadays it seems like everybody all over the field has got something other than black cleats, with Troy Watson being the exception and Brad Santala. Basically the 2 defensive midfielders on both teams, which says a little bit about the position. Oh, and my mistake, Troy does have blue cleats on today, so Santala being the lone classic black boot today.
Those defensive midfielders, those guys are all boring anyway, right? They have one job to do, and you know how they are, right?
Yeah, but the best ones are the ones that can kind of turn a corner and help the team transition to offense as well, and this is what Santala is doing here for Lansing. Not only helping defend, but trying to make some forward passes out of midfield to spring his attack a little bit.
Andrew Hill turns and fires the pass. 22.5 minutes into this first half. No score. Neil Rule, Cale Wasserman with you. Happy to have you along wherever you may be watching around the world. Good battle there.
It's a treat for me to come back. Obviously, I was coaching the inaugural season here with Detroit, but I have a great time up in the booth with Neil.
Here comes Danny Deacon on the move. Catalano's up with him. Deacon's pass over top. Catalano. But we've seen some nice chemistry here in this first 22 minutes plus between Danny Deacon. Danny Deacon's been a trigger man here all afternoon.
Yeah, these last 2 chances have come from the left side. One him springing Catalano with a good pass, and that one him running behind. So Dewey Lewis will have to be careful playing right back for Lansing United, because Detroit can lull you to sleep a little bit when those quick technical players like Deacon, Catalano, Adkins start running in behind. That's where the danger comes.
Watson finds Adkins. Adkins in the middle. His pass right in the middle of Catalano.
You can see when Lansing wins the ball, look at their center backs at the edge of the 18. Their first thought is to try to build out of the back and control some possession. But if Detroit doesn't let them, they have no problem booting one up the field and trying to gain some territory.
Cal, Detroit City in the last 10 to 15 minutes of this game have really seemed to tilt the field. Lansing United came out very aggressive in the first 6 to 8 minutes, but City's enjoyed some nice possession as of late.
Yeah, and you know what? I think a little bit of that could be intentional from Lansing. They came out high, try to force a mistake, but I think they know for 90 minutes it's going to be tough for them to press. So I don't think they have a problem defending deep as long as they're not giving up chances. Those last 2 chances might be going against that plan though, but if they can minimize chances, I don't think they have a problem defending deeper and trying to create some counterattacks while still trying to build when they can.
Lewis again with another pinpoint pass up the right side. Danny Brandt the target, but expertly played by Seb Harris.
And that'll be an interesting matchup all day. Danny Brandt being Lansing's best attacking player, and Sebi, who's been a vet this year in the games that he's been able to play in, has been very good.
Catalano again. Goes to Sadie. Sadie has to go through his feet. And Sadie was taken down by Tim Daniels. Referee says play on.
Yeah, we talked about Cyrus a little earlier. He's a vet, he's skilled, he's technical, but one of his biggest complaints from coaches and people that he's played with is he can't be casual at times, and that was one of those moments where I think he he thought he could get away with taking a little dive, and he's savvy, so he'll try that. But when it doesn't work and you're out of position now, you're giving up possession and chances and transition the other way. So he'll have to be careful with that.
Cyrus Sadie, second all-time in minutes played for this Detroit City franchise. 2 goals in 3 contests this year.
Yeah, and not just minutes. He's had some great moments. He's had some great goals and assists over the last couple of years. So he is a big-time key attacking player. He'll just need to make sure he doesn't fall asleep for a moment here and there, because Lansing will try to punish him on those mistakes.
I don't think there's much doubt if you started a Detroit City FC Mount Rushmore, I think number 10's got a real good shot of being on there.
Yeah, he's one of the first guys in the conversation. He's an original from the first year,
right.
and he was bought in early when Kylie and I were here, and he's been 5 years now on the field creating dangerous opportunities. Something about those left-footed players.
Long pass in the corner, a little too far for Dewey Lewis. So a goal kick upcoming for Steinwasser.
Lansing's found themselves entering the final third these last few minutes a couple times, but have been a little off on their final ball and their passing, just like that Stevenson Storm overhitting the pass a little bit. If they can be a little more precise and crisp in the final third, I think Coach Miller's going to be happy. But I think he's out of your screen, but you can see Nate Miller pointing his left hand for his team to back up and allow Detroit to gain some territory, which is going to open things up for them on the counter a little bit.
Troy Watson will send it out wide to the right side. Catalano with the touch. Tommy gets it back, but the foul is called first as Watson was taken down. Danny Deacon. TJ Stevens drops it off for Cyrus Sadie. Very solid defensive play there by Prudhomme. Seb Harris sends it up long in the corner. Ball headed along the sideline. Omar Sinclair comes up on the overplay to take it away. It's a good calculation there by Sinclair.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about David Edwardson this half, but I think his name should be mentioned. He's been in some of these physical battles. I think if he can get on the ball a little bit as a midfielder going forward, and here he is, that's going to create an extra number in the attack if he can get up there.
Goal kick upcoming for Lansing United.
Yeah, and here's David on the screen here, jogging back just past Andrew Hill of Lansing United. That's actually a matchup I'm looking forward to. They've been playing each other the last couple years. I think Andrew Hill is a 3-year player for Lansing United now, so it'll be interesting to see those two, who both have some pride wearing their jerseys, if they can keep things and their emotions in check and keep it on the field, but we'll see where it takes them.
There is the captain, Dave Edwardson. Now a left side play. Catalano into the box, moves to the right, drops it off for Cyrus Sadie. Sadie will find Shiwi. Shiwi with the chip, making the run, right-footed shot, just wide of the left post. Tommy Catalano made a bid for the first goal of the afternoon, but just missed the far left post.
Yeah, and again, I think Lansing's a little bit out of their element. Coach Miller is a very high-pressure, high-line kind of coach, and he told me before this game he might have to sit back a little bit, and you can tell that they're not in their comfort zone, but kind of victim of the circumstance with some depth and some tired legs. If they're going to sit back, they need to put pressure on the ball and not allow Detroit to serve crosses and passes in that final third.
Cyrus Sadie having Danny Brandt give him some problems. City will retreat with the ball. Here comes Sadie again. So Tommy Catalano has been a direct threat here today for Detroit City, the former Oakland Golden Grizzly great. Here comes Jeff Adkins on the left side. It's taken away from him. The next 15 minutes are brought to you by Phoenix Haas, the official building partner of Detroit City FC. Ball played away by Austin Dunn. And there's a giveaway. TJ Stevens taken down. Now the ball bouncing around wildly through the midfield. And here it comes. Danny Brandt with it. Lansing United looking to counter.
Yeah, and if you followed Lansing United at all, that is a familiar sight of Austin Dunn with a big, strong, and clean tackle. He's their captain. He's a defend-first center back, and he brings some punch in those tackles.
"31 minutes into this contest, still no score." Here's a dangerous opportunity. That ball touched away from Stevenson Storm. Storm with his back to the goal. Had a chance to make something out of that. Instead, here comes Dave Edwardson with it. Captain will swing it out to the right side. Danny Deacon the target. Now Deacon making the run. The ball's played high into the air.
Yeah, and these last two possessions, you can see Cyrus Sadie dropping deeper into the midfield, wanting to get on the ball, which is great for his comfort level, but may hurt Detroit in transition if there's some interchange and Troy Watson or Dave Edwardson push higher and Cyrus ends up as a holding midfielder.
Here comes Adkins on the left side. Adkins will cross. Nobody home there for City. Now making the move, the shot is in the back of the net. It's a goal for Detroit City. Tommy Catalano was knocking on the door all afternoon long, and now he delivers the mail.
That's some of that savvy veteran stuff in the final third. Cyrus Sadie went 1v1 and the ball popped out to Tommy, and just an extra touch to give him a half a yard on his left foot, put it far post right where the goalkeeper can't get it out of Jimmy Haig's reach.
Just a rocket of a shot by Catalano. We'll take one more look at it with that left foot. Was not to be denied.
Grant Stoneman stepped forward, did the right thing, tried to put some pressure on the ball, but Tommy Catalano absolutely class first touch just to get that extra half a yard, and then going back across his body with the left foot. It made it very hard for Jimmy Haig to get a stronger hand on it, but still a good effort, 1v1 from the goalkeeper, but not enough to keep Detroit City off the board there.
And the smoke pours from the Northern Guard.
And as a coach, Nate Miller, this is the trying moments as a coach. Do you stick with your game plan now to keep dropping deeper, or will you have to adjust and go back to that higher pressure? We'll see how patient Lansing United is these next couple minutes before halftime.
Take us through the mindset of that, Cale, as you're standing there right now. If you're Nate Miller, because you want to go away from it. I know you do, because based on what's happened so far here today, but you have to trust in what you prepared for.
Yeah, and they've been all right. You know, they haven't created a ton of chances, but they're getting into good areas. If they can just execute a little better, it's not so much the game plan that's been the issue, it's been a little bit of the execution. So as a coach, that's the decision you have to make. Can your team adjust and execute a little better right now, or can you wait a little longer and see how it plays out?
There is head coach Nate Miller on the screen.
Nate's a passionate guy. He's a great players coach. They like playing for him.
Here comes an opportunity here for City. Danny Deacon yo-yoing it down the sideline, keeping it in play. Excellent defensive play made. Now the pass up ahead to Andrew Hill. Hill gives it away. Shiwi unable to keep it in play.
Yeah, Lansing's had some tough games with late goals conceded, but the guys have not given up, and they're playing really hard for Coach Miller. But I watched his press conference after the game on Friday, and he was fired up to the point of, you know, face red and almost a quiver in his voice, because he is passionate. And he told me on the phone yesterday, I'm not sacrificing my time and energy and being away from my family for fun this summer. I want to help Lansing United win games and be at the top of the table. And so he is passionate and bought in, and the players, I think, feed off that a little bit. So there's no quit in these guys. So we'll see how they bounce back from that goal.
Now a nifty play by Shiwi up ahead to Adkins. Adkins on the run with it. Still on the run. Slide tackle made by Andrew Hill.
Yeah, and I referenced Andrew Hill earlier, and he bleeds Lansing United colors, so he'll be willing to put his body on the line for those tackles.
Just crossed the 35-minute mark. 1-0 City with the lead. Tommy Catalano with a goal in the 33rd minute. And that is where we stand.
Yeah, and Detroit over the years has been a very, very good team at home. This is the first year at Keyworth, but there's just something about this Northern Guard and the energy that they bring, especially up a goal.
Cyrus Sadie will send it across. Edwardson the target. Captain will track it down. Now he'll get it back. TJ Stevens, right boot into the box, and Jimmy Haig will make the jump and collect it before any further damage can be done.
And those are the crosses that will be easy pickings for Jimmy Haig, center backs like Grant Stoneman and Austin Dunn, who are good in the air, and they'll have to be better whipped crosses if Detroit wants to have some success in that final third.
Stevenson Storm to toss it in for Lansing United. No, he'll hand off the duties. Omar Sinclair with the header, or as my 4-year-old son would call it, the head bonk along the sideline.
Coach Pierman's off his bench talking to the fourth official a little bit. I think he's just asking to make sure it's called both ways. There's been little stuff each way.
It's massaging, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you got to ask for it, because after 4 or 5, cards don't start coming. Yes, they're getting the fouls, but defenders can get away with the extra foul if they're not on a yellow card. They can take some chances that they normally wouldn't be able to. So looks like Coach Pierman's asking for a yellow, maybe for some persistent infringement for a couple times being fouled on that side.
And Caesar, as he's known, was very animated there at times in that discussion. Here comes Zach Shiwi.
Again, here's Cyrus Sadie dropping very deep. It's interesting to see. It's giving them time on the ball, but again, this interchange looks great right now, but if chances don't come out of it, they will be more open for transitional moments on the Lansing counterattack. So we'll see what happens with these interchanges.
So Dewey Lewis controls. That's sent into the middle. Danny Brandt. Sinclair will settle it to Troy Watson.
Tackle from David Edwardson.
Some nifty footwork there by Tim Daniels. He was unable to catch up with it.
This is where Lansing United needs to be crisp and sharp. They can get some comfort if they can keep the ball a little bit in the final third here.
Cyrus Sadie with the collision, and the foul is called. That'll go against Sadie.
Yeah, 3 or 4 passes from Lansing in the final third. A little half turnover, but great re-pressure from Brad Santala to win that back, which drew the foul. And that's Spartan on Spartan crime with a current Spartan in Brad Santala and an alumnus in Cyrus Sadie. So dangerous opportunity here in the closing minutes of the half. Looks like Ryan Scott and Tim Daniels over the ball. Ryan Scott left-footed, could be potential for something up and over the wall here.
40th minute. Big spot here for Lansing United. They're down 1. Left-footed shot blocked by the wall. Dave Edwardson, the first one off the wall, and he clears it. Detroit City wanted the offside flag. That shot is chipped up and over top of the frame. So Leave Edwardson down on the field right now. Of course, he wore that shot in the wall. And we'll get things restarted. 41st minute. 1-0 Detroit City in the lead. A Tommy Catalano goal in the 33rd minute, the difference. Neil Rule, my broadcast partner today, Cale Wasserman. Good to have Cale back in the booth. Former assistant at Detroit City, current assistant coach at Michigan State.
One name we haven't touched on, who's starting a lot of these attacks out of the back there, is Nate Steinwasser, who's had a great season so far. Again, in the games he's been available, he has been a brick wall back there. So it's good to see him back in action today, although he hasn't had much action of yet.
That's some Tala turns with it. Now Lansing United will try the right side. Middle of the field, Andrew Hill. Stoneman send it deep, and now Edwardson will knock it down. Adkins, nice pass up ahead. Catalano with it. They're giving him some space. He'll chip it towards the corner, and making the run was TJ Stevens.
And another chance coming off the Lansing turnover. And we go back to the question as a coach, Nate Miller, do you switch something? And again, that's execution. They're open, the angles are there, and first touches are letting them down, passes aren't crisp enough, and there's not changes that need to be made as tactical points. It's more execution and technique here.
That ball's taken away by City. 43rd minute. The captain in the middle of the field.
And after a hectic couple minutes, Detroit looks like they're comfortable here, just slowing things down a little bit, trying to close out the half without giving up something with a little possession here.
Edwardson swings it out to the right side. Looks like that, Cale. Very content here with their 1-0 lead. Now here comes a pass up ahead to Adkins, who knocks it down. Adkins crosses towards the middle. That shot will go over top of everything.
That last chance there, Cyrus Sadie, David Edwardson, and Troy Watson all becoming deeper lying center midfielders, which draws some of the midfield of Lansing higher up the field, allowing for those balls and switches in behind, which that's what you're going to have to look for. Lansing United getting exposed a little bit in the wide channels when their midfield steps higher up the field.
So bodies hitting the floor everywhere along that right sideline, and now guys are mixing it up. And here comes some reinforcements, and of course number 26 is right there in the middle, and Tommy Catalano.
Yeah, and with Catalano on the field, Jake Prudhomme gave him a little cleat to the kneecap on his way, stepping over him, which in a game is going to fire up some tempers. So good to see TJ and Austin kind of grab each other, but just settle things down as opposed to going over the line, getting too physical.
Omar Sinclair jumped onto the scene right away as well.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the linesman over there saw the Jake Prudhomme step, but if he did, that's part of the reason that yellow card came out for Mark Lawrence.
And it looks like a yellow card went both ways. Jake Prudhomme picked one up, as did Tommy Catalano. We'll take another look at what started this all.
We'll see right here as he steps over him. Little knee right there.
Yeah.
Just giving him a little extra love, which started all this.
Tommy took exception to that, no question about it, as anybody would that was on the receiving end of that.
I've been on the sidelines in these games, and had that happened on the near sideline away from all the fans, all the noise, it gets filtered down a little bit. But in that heat of the moment with all the people screaming and all the energy there's always a little extra physicality, and emotions are high on that far sideline.
So Tommy Catalano picked up a goal and a yellow card here in the first half. Jake Prudhomme, I believe, was hit with a yellow card as well for Lansing United. And there they are renewing acquaintances again in the box. Ball is flicked on.
No turn.
Now Adkins will control it. Now we have coaches yelling at officials, players yelling at each other. Pierman's mad, Nate Miller's mad.
Yeah, that's a little carryover from that last conflict, but TJ, he knew he wanted to end that counter, and I don't think he minded taking a yellow to give somebody a little extra physical knock from behind.
Josh Rogers.
Yeah, and it looks like Josh Rogers is being sent off by Mark Lawrence for some of his words. And obviously a passionate DCFC till he dies kind of guy who played here the first 4 years and now has stepped into a coaching role.
So in the meantime, we motor into the second minute of stoppage time. Emotions running high here at Keyworth Stadium.
And I think both coaches will be more than happy to get into halftime and back in the locker room without any of their players getting another yellow here.
So we're in stoppage time and the whistle will sound, so the first half in the books. Not without its fair share of fireworks, however. Very physical, very chippy at times.
Absolutely.
Tommy Catalano got the goal in the 33rd minute, and then he got in a mix-up with Jake Prudhomme, where Prudhomme seemed to put his cleat down on Catalano's leg.
Yeah, and
that struck off a big series of events.
The last 5 minutes went over the top. Tempers were flaring, and you know, energy was high, so it got a little too physical. But for me, the first 40 minutes of the game had the right balance of extremely high but clean physicality, but also a balance of some quick attacking moments and creative chances from both sides. So if they can get back to that first 40 minutes, we'll have an entertaining day for the crowd here in the second half.
We got a tweet here from Trevor Fry, says he's checking in from Stevensville, Michigan, watching the game today. We certainly do appreciate that. Ian Thompson on Twitter as well says, loving your match commentary here in Manchester, England. So Cale, you're worldwide right now.
Yeah, and I know Omar Sinclair, the right center back for DCFC, is a Manchester boy, so that might be a friend or family member across the pond, which is always great to see.
We also got a note from Detroit City co-owner Alex Wright, says he's watching the game at the airport in Boston on his way back from a wedding. So certainly appreciate you checking in as well, Alex. All is well. And right now, standing by with head coach Ben Pierman, we'll send it to our sideline reporter Lindsey Pearson. Lindsey.
Thanks, Neil. Guys, I'm with Coach Ben Pierman. Coach, what did you see out of your team in the first half?
We played well. We played very well. I thought, I don't know the stats or whatever. I thought our ball circulation, retention, but not just the possession. We went places. I thought we had, honestly, 8 to 10 chances. Those front four, Jeff, Cyrus, Danny, Tommy, those four ran the show. They didn't have an answer for it. Troy in the middle midfield's been excellent, and then our back four has been very solid. You know, things got a little hectic there at the end of the half. Hopefully that can be dealt with. But we played a very good possession game. Sloppy at the beginning, first pass of the game. You know, the other night we played a great possession game for 30 minutes, and then we gave up 5 goals. So long road ahead, but you know, we got to keep moving the ball. They're gonna step some pressure up. They'll get after us, so we got to be smart with it. But we got to keep moving the ball, because when we move the ball, they can't deal with it right now. So we're getting a ton of chances. We're getting the fullbacks forward. You know, we just got to put another one away, or at least keep a shutout.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsey. 1-0 Detroit City with the lead. A Tommy Catalano goal in the 33rd minute. The difference so far. We will take the halftime break as well. Come back, get you the second half of action. Detroit City with a 1-0 halftime lead. We'll be right back.
The motto of Detroit City Football Club is passion for our city, passion for the game. And now, in the summer of 2015, with the help of Flagstar Bank, an additional line can be added: passion for our neighborhoods. DCFC, Flagstar, and the Community Advocates of Detroit are working together to organize the inaugural Neighborhood Champ program. The goal of the initiative is to provide 60 residents from neighborhoods across Detroit free transportation, tickets, and giveaways to each Rouge home match in downtown Detroit.
Well, we like this program because it's about neighborhoods, it's about Detroit, it's about the passion for sports, it's about the power of uniting people together through sports, and that's really important for us.
In the first week of the program, residents of the Hubbard Farms neighborhood gathered to watch Detroit City FC's home opener against the Muskegon Risers.
We have neighbors from all over the Hubbard Farms, Southwest Detroit area, and some kids from the Clark Park soccer program and also from Lighthouse Academy in Southwest Detroit. And we're all meeting the school bus here and taking it out to the DCFC game.
Tickets in hand and free t-shirts ready, a bus transports the neighborhood champs to Detroit City FC's home field at Catalano Stadium, where they're treated to an unforgettable soccer atmosphere. In 2015, neighborhood residents from all across Detroit, from Osborne to Grandmont Rosedale to Springwells, will be lending their voices to the sold-out crowds all season long. And hopefully, thanks to Flagstar and CDAD, they will head back to their neighborhoods with a new love for soccer and the pride of being a part of Detroit's soccer team.
Strong neighborhoods are a backbone to a vibrant city, and so there's a great revitalization going on in Detroit right now, and it's important that that happen all across the city. And so we love to support organizations that do just that in the neighborhoods.
DCFC, Flagstar, and CDAD, bringing the beautiful game to Detroit neighborhoods all summer long.
DCFC! 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 DCFC!
Remember the kid who always jumped first? The one who taught you to follow your heart. We seek those relentlessly committed to the lives and well-being of our brothers and sisters. The belief that a better life for everyone is our calling. We celebrate the kids who jump first. Because before equity of care was news, we were making it happen. We've been building it for 100 years. The world is finally catching up.
Soccer World is your #1 source for all your soccer needs. We have the largest selection of shoes with over 300 styles to choose from, replica and authentic jerseys from all over the world, plus the latest and hottest new gear before anyone else gets it. Everything for all levels of soccer players, even coaches and referees, plus a knowledgeable staff that can help you with all your soccer needs. Soccer World for all your soccer needs. Located in Rochester Hills, Brighton, and Canton, or at soccerworldonline.com.
The motto of Detroit City Football Club is passion for our city, passion for the game. And now, in the summer of 2015, with the help of Flagstar Bank, an additional line can be added: passion for our neighborhoods. DCFC, Flagstar, and the Community Advocates of Detroit are working together to organize the inaugural Neighborhood Champ program. The goal of the initiative is to provide 60 residents from neighborhoods across Detroit free transportation, tickets, and giveaways to each Rouge home match in downtown Detroit.
Well, we like this program because it's about neighborhoods, it's about Detroit, it's about the passion for sports, it's about the power of uniting people together through sports, and that's really important for us.
In the first week of the program, residents of the Hubbard Farms neighborhood gathered to watch Detroit City FC's home opener against the Muskegon Risers.
We have neighbors from all over the Hubbard Farms, Southwest Detroit area, and some kids from the Clark Park soccer program and also from Lighthouse Academy in Southwest Detroit. And we're all meeting the school bus here and taking it out to the DCFC game.
Tickets in hand and free t-shirts ready, a bus transports the neighborhood champs to Detroit City FC's home field at Catalano Stadium, where they're treated to an unforgettable soccer atmosphere. In 2015, neighborhood residents from all across Detroit, from Osborne to Grandmont Rosedale to Springwells, will be lending their voices to the sold-out crowds all season long. And hopefully, thanks to Flagstar and CDAD, they will head back to their neighborhoods with a new love for soccer and the pride of being a part of Detroit's soccer team.
Strong neighborhoods Neighborhoods are a backbone to a vibrant city, and so there's a great revitalization going on in Detroit right now, and it's important that that happen all across the city. And so we love to support organizations that do just that in the neighborhoods.
DCFC, Flagstar, and CDAD, bringing the beautiful game to Detroit neighborhoods all summer long.
DCFC, 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 DCFC.
Remember the kid who always jumped first? The one who taught you to follow your heart. We seek those relentlessly committed to the lives and well-being of our brothers and sisters. The belief that a better life for everyone is our calling. We celebrate the kids who jump first. Because before equity of care was news, we were making it happen. We've been building it for 100 years. The world is finally catching up.
Soccer World is your #1 source for all your soccer needs. We have the largest selection of shoes with over 300 styles to choose from, replica and authentic jerseys from all over the world, plus the latest and hottest new gear before anyone else gets it. Everything for all levels of soccer players, even coaches and referees, plus a knowledgeable staff that can help you with all your soccer needs. Soccer World for all your soccer needs, located in Rochester Hills, Brighton, and Canton, or at soccerworldonline.com.
The motto of Detroit City Football Club is passion for our city, passion for the game. And now, in the summer of 2015, with the help of Flagstar Bank, an additional line can be added, passion for our neighborhoods. DCFC, Flagstar, and the community advocates of Detroit are working together to organize the inaugural Neighborhood Champ program. The goal of the initiative is to provide 60 residents from neighborhoods across Detroit free transportation, tickets, and giveaways to each Rouge home match in downtown Detroit.
Well, we like this program because it's about neighborhoods, it's about Detroit, it's about the passion for sports, it's about the power of uniting people together through sports, and that's really important for us.
In the first week of the program, residents of the Hubbard Farms neighborhood gathered to watch Detroit City FC's home opener against the Muskegon Risers.
We have neighbors from all over the Hubbard Farms, Southwest Detroit area, and some kids from the Clark Park soccer program and also from Lighthouse Academy in Southwest Detroit. And we're all meeting the school bus here and taking it out to the DCFC game.
Tickets in hand and free t-shirts ready, a bus transports the neighborhood champs to Detroit City FC's home field at Keyworth Stadium, where they're treated to an unforgettable soccer atmosphere. In 2015, neighborhood residents from all across Detroit, from Osborne to Grandmont Rosedale to Springwells, will be lending their voices to the sold-out crowds all season long. And hopefully, thanks to Flagstar and CDAD, they will head back to their neighborhoods with a new love for soccer and the pride of being a part of Detroit's soccer team.
Strong neighborhoods are a backbone to a vibrant city, and so there's a great revitalization going on in Detroit right now, and it's important that that happen all across the city. And so we love to support organizations that do just that in the neighborhoods.
DCFC, Flagstar, and CDAD, bringing the beautiful game to Detroit neighborhoods all summer long.
DCFC, 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 DCFC.
Welcome back to historic Keyworth Stadium. 45 minutes in the books. Detroit City FC with a 1-0 lead. A Tommy Catalano goal in the 33rd minute. The difference so far. Neil Rule, Cale Wasserman here with you. And Coach, when you look at the first 45 minutes of play, what did you see tactically out there? Absolutely. So the Lansing United came out in the first 10 minutes of play and seemed to take it to Detroit City FC. They were very active in that first 10-minute frame of the match. Detroit City FC would recover, however, and really seemed to carry the play in terms of the final, say, 35 minutes of the first half, ultimately ending in a goal in the 33rd minute by Catalano. As you see here, Detroit City FC peppering United goalkeeper Jimmy Haig with shots before Tommy Catalano finally broke through and got the goal And that is how we went to the locker room with the Detroit City 1-0 lead. And a very huge contest for these two sides. Let's take a look at the Detroit City FC halftime report, brought to you by Metro PCS. Catalano with that goal in the 33rd minute. Now, a bit of a scrape happened in that 44th minute. Catalano and Jake Prudhomme mixed it up along the far sideline, and that really seemed to carry over for the rest of the time in the first half. This became a very chippy affair between these two sides as we take a look at it and get you caught up with everything that happened. And here's the event that really seemed to spark it all as these two teams went at each other over the course of the first 45 minutes. But you see over here, Tommy Catalano and Jake Prudhomme mixing it up. And there you see the step that Catalano took exception to. And that seemed to spark all the outrage, and these two teams went at it over the course of the next 3 minutes. And mercifully, we reached halftime. And both these two sides went to the locker room to perhaps cool off a bit.
Half with the tactical changes if the physicality becomes an issue, or if both teams start to just cool out, get their emotions in check, and worry about attacking and getting the ball into dangerous areas.
So here we go. Second 45 minutes of play. Ready to rock. United will have the possession. And they're trailing by the score of 1-0.
And Detroit all the way up the field, pressing, but Lansing a great job to break it down early, and Santal a little mishit trying to go direct.
The next 15 minutes are brought to you by Fago, the official pop of Detroit City FC. And look me in the eye and tell me that Rock and Rye is not one of the best they put out there, and I may want to fight you, like physically. You tell me Rock and Rye is no good, I'll have an issue with you.
Yeah, I won't cross you that way.
Deal rule, Cale Wasserman with you, keeping it civil for right now.
Yeah, and Lansing's got to be happy with this start. If they can get something out of this set piece. They broke through a little early pressure from Detroit, got it all the way down the field, and Dewey Lewis created a little set piece chance drawing a foul. So if they can put something on target or get a little flick on, Nate Miller will be excited.
Hill sends it in. It's flicked towards that left post, but it's out of play. So a corner kick coming for Lansing United. Right now, Cale, really a mirror image of the first couple minutes of the first half. That's all Lansing United really carry play.
Yeah, and Lansing will be thrilled. This kills out a little of Detroit's emotion, slowing the game down, getting in their end. And obviously any set piece at this level is going to be dangerous with the delivery ability of these guys, as well as the big bodies in the box now.
So Hill sends it up and making a run. Now it's chipped on, headed towards the post. It's loose, and it's in the back of the net. It's a goal for Lansing United.
Yeah, and that's James DeCosimo, who just subbed in at halftime. He's a good finisher when he gets into good areas, and a couple of non-cleared balls off that corner kick. Like I said, big guys in the box. It's hard to get the ball out of there, and he hammered it home from 2-3 yards away.
So James DeCosimo, who's led this Lansing United team in shots in the last 2 games, checks into the game and wastes no time as he was on the doorstep. Bangs it.
Yeah, and Grant Stoneman, the right center back, did an absolutely great job to knock that ball down to him in traffic and just put it in a dangerous area. And if he's that close, he's going to finish that.
So DeCosimo levels in the 48th minute.
Yeah, this will give Lansing a ton of confidence. Probably will even help a little of their execution just with that mental edge that they're going to get from this now.
See if they have more of a bounce in their step. Brad Santella sends it out wide to the right side. So do you see anything tactically different that these two teams are trying to do?
I'm trying to figure it out now. It looks like James DeCosimo up top with Stevenson Storm to play off each other, which dropped Danny Brandt into the midfield a little bit. And Danny is an extremely technical player. He'll play in more of a natural number 10 position and allow him to be a playmaker as opposed to a goal scorer and running the channels. So probably help him conserve some energy in the midfield as well, as opposed to sprinting for some of those longer balls and counterattacks in the first half. I would say that's the biggest tactical. It's more of a personnel change, but I do think tactically that'll affect Lansing's the way they can create and what they can do in the final third. And James DeCosimo, a Northwood graduate this past fall who had a good college career, already paying dividends for them, getting a goal in his first minute of action.
A long pass sent up ahead. Played by the goalkeeper, Jimmy Haig. We have a Twitter check-in from Chris Studdard. Chris chimes in, says, I'm watching from Middlesbrough, England. He said, come on, United. I don't know that we support that, but we do appreciate you checking in, though, Chris. Certainly staying up late tonight on the Sunday over across the pond. Thankful. Now another opportunity. That shot sails just wide to the right by Danny Brandt.
And that's the name that you're going to hear from this Lansing attack now that he's in his more natural position. And looking at this lineup, it looks like Stevenson Storm has pushed out to the left side and they've become more of a 4-3-3 with James DeCosimo at center mid. This will give them 3 center midfielders. It's going to give them a lot more control of that middle third of the park if Lansing can execute.
Catalano playing with that yellow card, sends it to the captain, Dave Edwardson. Dave sends it up ahead, trying to connect with Danny Deacon.
Yeah, a clear 4-3-3 to start the second half. James DeCosimo, the lone target forward. This should give them some good width, as well as a three-man midfield now. But a turnover out of the back here.
Catalano dangerous. There's a takedown in the box. Official says play on. The Northern Guard disagrees with that sentiment.
Again, that comes down to execution. Tactics go out the window if technical execution is a problem, and that's why when you watch Copa America and the Euro championships that are going on, the highest level teams, the teams that control games and win games, have that technical execution at speed, which is something that the U.S. youth as well as college and the higher levels are still trying to play catch up on a little bit.
Talent helps too.
Yeah, exactly. But again, at the end of the day,
no, you're right.
Individual moments and mistakes sometimes is what it comes down to. So if you can avoid technical errors and not put your team in bad situations, giving up set pieces early in halves, it's going to help you out.
Well, Coach, of course, I follow you on Twitter, so I enjoy reading your tweets during the Copa America. Give us your thoughts real quickly on that. U.S. Kind of snuck in the back door of the group there.
I rant about U.S. soccer a lot. But I'm a supporter, I'm a fan, I want them to do well. So we struggled in some games, but we got our results and are fortunate enough to win the group. I'm rooting for Brazil hard tonight. Right. So we will, if Brazil beats Paraguay, we will face Paraguay. That'll give us hopefully an easier path.
Absolutely. So now it's time for the weekly trivia presented by Flagstar Bank. This week's question: who scored City's first ever goal here at Keyworth Stadium on May 20th? Tweet your answers to @DetroitCityFC. We'll give you the answer to that in the 65th minute.
Yeah, and another mistake there from Grant Stoneman. Snuffed out from Tommy Catalano. Nothing came of it, but he did a great moment heading that ball to James DeCosimo to create the goal, but that's 2 mistakes in the last 5 minutes on the top of his own 18. And again, a mistake can be the difference in this game here.
Omar Sinclair will settle it down and turn with a nifty touch to TJ Stevens. Stevens sends it wide, knocking it down in the box, and the shot with the left foot is blocked by Danny Deacon. Boy, Deacon had a golden opportunity there. Corner kick will be awarded, it looks like. 53rd minute, we're tied at 1. Comes a corner service. High towards the back post. Setting it up, Catalano. Troy Watson unable to get the shot off. And it's cleared out of the box. Now set back in, that cross is blocked.
Yeah, set pieces are vital at this level. Lansing struggled the last couple games, giving up a goal at the Stars on a direct header and a 1-0 loss, and then just last game, here's the replay here. Just last game, giving up a goal directly off the corner delivery.
So we'll try the corner again, towards the back post one more time. It's headed out by the United. DCFC will get a throw in. TJ TJ Stevens trots over. He'll toss it in. Comes United looking to counter. Stevenson Storm jumps up into the attack. Adkins sprints over and will send it back to Omar Sinclair. Omar Sinclair, another Saginaw Valley State product.
Yeah, and Omar, a lot like Troy Watson, they're teammates at Saginaw Valley, but both tall, athletic players, but also very good on the ball.
TJ Stevens with the cross. There's a right foot shot that's just over top of the bar.
Yeah, both teams have had some issues keeping the ball on the ground, trying to pick that top corner out. Every once in a while, from that range, it's better just to go low and hard and hope for a deflection, get a rebound, even just force a save and make it difficult for the opposing goalkeeper.
That ball just curls over top of the bar.
Jimmy Haig covers a lot of ground with that 6'5" frame, so you see these Detroit guys trying to pick that very top corner where, again, like I said, if they could just put it on frame, a rebound will be better than a goal kick.
Jeff Adkins, who was a M1 man of the match on Friday against Grand Rapids, making a bid to score another one here today. James DeCosimo settles out.
Having another impact there, just using his body well. He is not the most mobile or quickest player, but he's smart, uses his body very well, and helps his team keep the ball there.
Troy Watson through the middle will send it back. There's where Seb Harris goes to work. Seb's pass connects. Danny Deacon the target there. Instead going the other way with it now is Andrew Hill. Danny Brandt along the sideline. Ryan Scott. DeCosimo touches the pass, now makes a run. Let's take a look at our let's take a look at the upcoming games here for Detroit City FC. Sunday, June 19th. That'll be next Sunday right here at 5 p.m. against Kalamazoo FC. Then we'll do it again at Keyworth on Saturday, June 25th as the Dayton Dynamo come a-calling. Another date at Keyworth on Friday, July 1st. Grand Rapids FC, so some payback will be on the mind of Detroit City in that contest. Make sure you come on out. Do yourself a favor. Come out here to Keyworth and take in this environment. Whether you're a soccer fan or not, if you're a sports fan in general, you owe it to yourself to come out here and take this whole environment in. It truly is, and I say this often, the Northern Guard and the fans here, pound for pound, some of the best sports fans in the city of Detroit.
Yeah, absolutely. They bring it every game and they travel on the road. It's great to see such dedicated support from those guys. And here's a chance here for Lansing. Great tackle by Troy Watson. Going back to the Northern Guard. We'll wait for this chance to clear out. As it slows down here, going back to the Northern Guard, I had a chance to talk to Sergeant Scary, their master and commander, for lack of a better word, this morning. And they're doing some great things. One of the things they're doing, one of their new initiatives, is a little program called Let's Make Routes, and they've got a Twitter handle at Let's Make Routes, where you can buy tickets, and they're distributing them to local kids and local community members to get the Hamtramck community more involved and getting some kids some opportunity to see some games.
Here's Stevenson Storm with it. His cross is blocked, so a corner kick coming for Lansing United. That's the thing, Cale, that really blows me away about the Northern Guard and the Detroit City FC supporters. Community, community, community. What can they do to make things better tomorrow than they were today? That's at the forefront of everything they do. and it's impressive. It's truly moving to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. When you say the word grassroots with this organization, it starts from the bottom and goes to the top.
No question.
So it's great to see.
Comes a corner for Lansing United. They'll play this one short. That's setting it just over the top of the bar. Boy, Nathan Steinwasser had to be alert.
When you talk about community, on some of the camera angles, you can see Keyworth Stadium is literally set in the middle of a neighborhood here in Hamtramck. So when the fans are marching to the games, there's people on their front porch, there's kids jumping out of the front door of their house trying to join the march. So it's great to see them doing things like that to get more community members here at the games and feeling bought into the team a little bit.
Right, it's something too, being here in this community in Hamtramck, and speaking from the heart a little bit. And look, we've seen everything that's been going on in the world, and there's been some trying times. Soccer seems to be one of those games that is truly a world game that can build bridges between communities and build bridges between people, and that's something that really excites me, and everything that's going on here with Detroit City FC. What this is doing is drawing communities together, and it's great to see as you take a look around the stands here. And a lot of what they do over on the Northern Guard side is based on that. It comes back to community, because community is all. It's not one, it's not this group, it's not that group. Community is everybody.
Yeah, I mean, there's a diverse community in this area. And some people say math is the universal language, but really,
soccer.
In the world, this is the world's game, and they have another initiative where they're getting local restaurants involved, and I believe it's called Come and Get It. At Come and Get It is that Twitter handle. I think today they brought a bunch of supporters into the Polish Village Cafe here in Hamtramck.
Here comes a dangerous opportunity. Danny Brandt will drop it back, and it's taken away. Fans, the next 15 minutes are brought to you by Flagstar Bank, the official bank of Detroit City FC and the official sponsor of the Neighborhood Champ program that brings 60 Detroit neighborhood residents to each and every Rouge home game. DCFC and Flagstar, bringing the beautiful game to Detroit neighborhoods all summer long. As we motor into towards the 62nd minute, we're tied at 1. Detroit City took a 1-0 halftime lead. Lansing United struck in the 48th minute. James DeCosimo checked into the game and then scored a goal to square this match at 1, and here we are. United, I think, Cale, certainly have had the better end of it so far here in the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Nate Miller with some good changes, and you can see him off the bench now a lot. Not worrying about the referee or the chippiness. He is up off the bench encouraging his team and pushing guys forward and communicating. And Ben Pierman right there doing the same. The ref and the physicality has now subsided, and it's more about the soccer. And I think Lansing United has done a better job adjusting and executing. And we'll see if Detroit can get a foothold back on this game in the next couple minutes here.
There's Ryan Scott with it. And that takedown, a foul will be called.
Yeah, and that was a tactical change, part of the personnel and tactical change from Nate Miller to put Ryan Scott from left mid and push Stevenson Storm out to the left and Ryan Scott at left back, which may give him some chances on the left side as a natural left footer. He took Jake Perdome on the yellow card out of the game and put Ryan Scott on the left. Could be some opportunities for Ryan to get forward and create in the attack with that left foot.
Another Twitter check-in from NGS Hogs, chiming in from Kansas. Said some storms are coming in, but hopefully we'll keep power for the match. We hope so. We appreciate you joining us wherever you may be watching around the world. A special hello to everybody watching on the FoxSportsDetroit.com stream. Neil Rule, Cale Wasserman with you. 1-1 the score here in the 63rd minute. Stevenson Storms, long pass is played up. Zach Shiwi will touch it in the air.
Yeah. You saw on Storms, when he retained possession there, his first look was to go forward, but with James DeCosimo up there, they've lost a lot of that speed for the counter, but are probably doing better in possession and creating chances with the changes that they've made.
Sadie upset with the ruling. The ball will go over to Lansing United, it looks like. Muzzong into the game for Lansing United. And as you said, Kill, every button that Nate Miller's pushed here so far in the second half has worked.
Yeah, and Muzzong, I believe, a student at Bethel University. He's from Germany originally. Naturally a right back, but very, very versatile player that can slide into the midfield. And I think Andrew Hill might be on some heavy legs. So we'll see if he can affect the game. First couple touches here for him in the attacking half.
Muzzong drops it off on the left side. There's Dewey Lewis making the move. Stops. Sends it out wide. The ball cleared out towards midfield. A nifty play there by Jimmy Haig with Cyrus Sadie closing in on him.
Yeah, he's good with his feet for a big goalkeeper, but the concern here from Detroit is Lansing United's Dewey Lewis had time to bring that ball down and have a cup of coffee in the middle of midfield with a disconnection of the back line and the midfield from Detroit on that clearance.
Ryan Scott will send it over. Now it's crossed in, dangerously bounced about. And the foul is called.
Yeah, and part of that change, I was talking about it earlier with Jake Prudhomme coming off the field and Ryan Scott getting forward on the left. He's had 2 touches in the final third in the last minute and a half, and a naturally left-footed player. That's going to create some problems if Detroit can't account for that.
Now let's give you the answer to the Flagstar Bank Weekly Trivia. Who scored City's first ever goal here at Keyworth Stadium? Alec Lisinski in the 45th minute, back on May 20th. Absolutely electric atmosphere that night for this contest. Now making the run on the left side. The shot will go through the goal mouth. Dangerous opportunity.
Yeah, big shot there by Catalano getting in behind. But going back to that Alec Lisinski goal, I had the pleasure of being just a fan at that game and sitting in the crowd.
Tommy Catalano there making a bid for number 2.
Looked like a little touch by Jimmy Haig. They've got an argument for a corner, but in the end, nothing doing for them. But again, Alec Lisinski, a moment of brilliance in that Ann Arbor game with his left foot. Little chip over the goalkeeper. He is on the bench and ready to go today if they need some fresh legs up top. A young freshman at Loyola University in Chicago.
And Lisinski with 3 goals in 4 appearances this year, so may want to keep an eye on that firepower on the bench.
Yeah, he's what I like to call a buzzer. He's a local kid from Michigan. He won Mr. Soccer as a junior in high school out of Ann Arbor Skyline. Went away to Chicago and has developed this year. So this is his first year with Detroit City, and it has had an immediate impact as a starter and a reserve for the team in the games that he's been chosen to get on the field.
Here comes Tommy Catalano. He'll wait for Deacon to join him. Catalano crossing over into the box. Slide taken away. Nicely done for Lansing United.
Yeah, it's a great recovery tackle from Stoneman there. Catalano, a savvy player, but speed not his priority. Those counterattacks could change a little bit if Ben decides to put some quickness up there.
There's James DeCosimo again causing some problems with the possession for Lansing United.
Yeah, and that's probably the 3rd or 4th time this half, as well as Lansing has done, that they've given up an opportunity on a mistake out of the midfield or their back line, which has led to straight kind of half chances for Catalano, Deacon, and other guys coming forward.
Now a substitution for Detroit City.
Alec Green.
Alex Chamakoff into the game. Speaking of some instant offense, Chamakoff's a guy that can buzz around the net as well. Since Dave Edwardson comes out of the game, Seb Harris now will be the captain for Detroit City.
Both
Fail
teams
on the clearance. Here comes a corner.
69th minute here. Both teams have made a few changes. We'll see if some fresh legs can affect some things. Alec Green came on for Stevenson Storm, it looked like, for Lansing United. A quick little attacking player who's already got on the ball 3 or 4 times in this last minute or so.
So Alec Green into the game for Lansing. And Ryan Scott will maneuver over to the corner to serve this corner kick. Corner sentence, Time Washer with the save.
That was unbelievable delivery. Whipped in low and hard just over the heads of the center backs. Point blank save for Nate Steinwasser, who's been unbelievable this season. Obviously he let one in today, but that was a big time game changing save right there.
No question about that. Here comes Danny Deacon. Punches it towards the middle. Watson will send it over. Javi Bautista getting loose. He will come in for Detroit City. So Cale, Ben Pierman, it looks like going to some of those offensive firecrackers on the bench.
Yeah, and you've got to. Again, second game of the weekend for these guys on a hard game on Friday. A little accumulation fatigue for guys like Edwardson as well with the first 4 weeks of the season.
There's Cyrus Sadie touching it ahead, and the offside flag is up.
Yeah, a little half chance there, but again, Cyrus Sadie right there. That was his first moment where he really got aggressive with the ball and ran at speed. And when he does that, he draws in defenders. You'll see it right here.
And maybe a step offside.
Yeah, I thought that was a good call by the linesman there, and I think Lansing United knew it the whole way. They looked very organized, but Tommy Catalano kind of showing after the whistle that if he gets a chance, he's picking top corner.
So Javi Bautista comes in for Catalano. Javier Bautista, very capable goal scorer. He's shown that in stretches during his Detroit City career.
Yeah, I mentioned it early in the half. Lansing had a couple mistakes, which Catalano's kind of lack of pace in a grand scheme of things. He's not the fastest player. He's fast enough, but not the fastest player to punish Lansing. I think one mistake by Lansing in the back, Javi is the kind of kid that will run in behind and punish them.
Jeff Adkins puts the brakes on. Now sends it out wide to the right. TJ Stevens in the corner. Will earn a corner kick. Backing up to Javier Bautista. He was an All-American at Ashford, scored 11 goals in 19 games as a senior. So his track record stipulates he's a very capable goal scorer, and that will be a throw-in. Check that for Detroit City. Down in that right corner there, a little tough here to see from our location. Watson has it in the middle. Bautista trying to keep it together off the cross from Shiwi.
Yeah, and Shiwi's a quick attacking outside back, and even after all the minutes he's played this season and a hot day today, he's showing he's still got some boost in his back pocket when he gets forward.
Let's take a look at today's attendance, brought to you by Rise. And there's an opportunity, and a defender save is made.
That's exactly what I referenced a couple minutes ago. Putting a shot on target will create rebounds and dangerous opportunities. And that's one that they're going to want back at the end of this game.
So the attendance, over 4,100 people here today at Keyworth. So Detroit City now with their best sustained pressure of the second half. Now they're back on the attack. Shiwi. Deacon will leave it out wide. Cyrus Sadie's cross is knocked out by Santala. So another corner coming up here for Detroit City. And Cale, you get the feeling the momentum beginning to shift a little bit.
Absolutely. Detroit, when they are on the ball in the final third, that's when their confidence is strong. And now with James DeCosimo as a lone center forward, the threat of a counterattack is gone, which is giving Detroit confidence to get push numbers forward and create some chances here.
So here we go. Just over top of Seb Harris. Deacon with a left-footed shot. Oh, what a save made by Haig.
Yeah, the importance of second chances on these corner kicks. That's the way Lansing scored a second ball, and Detroit takes an early one.
That ball's headed up into the box. Jimmy Haig is under heavy fire right now. There's a right-footed blast that will go over top of the wall.
Just like Steinwasser a few minutes earlier with a game-saving saves, those are the moments you talk about. Goalkeepers are supposed to make the saves that they're supposed to make, but once or twice a game, there's going to be a moment like this. Danny Deacon on his natural left foot.
Oh!
A ball rising that was going to go right under the crossbar, and Jimmy Haig coming up with that big right bear paw of his, pushing it over, saving his team from the on-rushing last couple minutes here from Detroit.
Danny Deacon with a goal and 3 assists against Dayton. Played for Sheffield United developmental squad in England. He also was a 2-time All-American in his college days. All he did was score 7 game-winning goals in 2 years. That's it, though. 7 game winners in 2 years.
Yeah.
Here comes a dangerous spot for Cyrus Sadie. The next 15 minutes presented by M1 Imaging. Tweet your choice for the man of the match to @DetroitCityFC with the hashtag M1Man. Got yourself a couple of choices here today. Catalano with the goal. Nate Steinwasser's been great. Not trying to influence anybody, however. Do what you think, guys.
Yeah, and I like what Lansing's done. They've pushed Alec Green a little more central, which has freed up Danny Brandt on the left side, or at least they are interchanging more often. Again, trying to get Danny Brandt into more comfortable positions where he can attack from.
As the chess match continues between those two men, Ben Pierman and Nate Miller. Here's Jeff Adkins. Adkins up ahead for Bautista. Bautista with a touch. Couldn't get enough of it to send it over top of Haig.
Yeah, and again, that's that speed from Javi. He threatens behind that back line on the counter and in those little chip balls in behind.
DeCosimo sends it towards the middle. It's played back out. Here's Ryan Scott moving it towards the right side. Austin Dunn. Come to United now on the far right side. Tossing and turning. Some contact there. Referee says play on. Cody Getzinger taken down there. Not a lot of contact though. Justified no call in my opinion. Here comes Cyrus Sadie. 78th minute of a 1-1 game.
And that attack starting with Cyrus Sadie again, an attacking midfielder, dropping very deep into possession, which asks a question of Lansing. Are they going to let him be free and get on the ball? Or if they push a guy up to put some pressure on him, that gives more room for guys like Javi and Deacon right here to run in behind.
Deacon sends it ahead. Javi Bautista, what a save by Haig. The rebound's in the back of the net. A goal for Detroit City. Jeff Adkins follows it up, and DCFC takes a 2-1 lead.
Great run in behind from Danny Deacon. Unbelievable service. Javi Bautista is going to want to have his number called on that next goal because He did not finish it himself, but again, a rebound leading to a second chance. And we'll see it on the replay here in a minute. Jeff Adkins, who's been in very good form here, burying what potentially could be the game-winning goal.
So Jeff Adkins, who was the M1 man of the match on Friday, making a bid to repeat the feat. What a save by Haig. But then Jeff Adkins on the doorstep puts it home to put Detroit City back up top 2-1.
And again, you have to ask, where did it come from? And with Cyrus Sadie dropping deep and starting that possession, Lansing United got caught a little bit uncertain on who should pick up who, which allowed Danny Deacon to get up the left side of that field unmarked. Great ball in behind for him, and he did everything right with that service. Jimmy Haig, another big moment, by the way, in goal, saving a point-blank shot. There's nothing more you can ask of your goalkeeper in that moment, but Lansing United failing to track Adkins out of midfield, and now they find themselves down 2-1 with 11 minutes left in regulation.
So Jimmy Haig did everything he could do, as you said, for his side. In the 80th minute, now down 2-1.
Yeah, and Lansing had a great start to this half, not just the goal, but their comfort level on the ball, getting into dangerous chances. And again, Nate Miller and his staff at Lansing United are going to have to ask some questions of themselves and see, are they going to change anything this last 10 minutes? And if they are, when? With 10 minutes left, it's coming down to crunch time, but not time yet probably to make suicidal risks and put yourself down 3-1.
Danny Deacon between the legs with a pass to Adkins. Adkins with Bautista up. Atkins to the middle. Has it touched away. Cyrus Sadie gives chase to it, and Sadie tracks it down. Shiwi sends it up to the left side. Cross is knocked down. Here's Shiwi with it again. Detroit City moves up towards the left side, looking for perhaps a knockout blow. Adkins goes back to Shiwi. Neil Sloob's ready to come into the game for Lansing United.
And that's Omar Sinclair, the center back.
Left side shot, save, rebound. Shot wide to the left.
Again, the importance of putting shots on target just makes it so much more difficult for defenders to track rebound, second balls, extra runners. But again, back to Neil Sloobs, who's checking in at midfield. I'm very curious to see what they're going to change here, because he is listed as a defender. So I wonder if someone from the back line will be pushing forward.
Javi Bautista with that rocket shot, got another crack at it, just missed that left post.
It's like Matt Ibarra checking in as well for Detroit. A vet of this team, been on the team for 4 years now, and looks like Coach Pierman wants to bring off Adkins and bring in a more defensive-minded midfielder to help close this game out.
Ibarra did score 2 goals, however, in 7 games last year, so he is a capable goal scorer. That long pass sent up. Bounces around. Seb Harris looking to lock things up defensively.
Yeah, and a very, very clear-cut tactical change by Nate Miller right now. Grant Stoneman, the center back, has been pushed up to center forward, an additional big target up top for...
And there's a right-footed shot that finds the back of the net. Alec Green, I believe, got the goal. And just like that, Lansing United equalize.
Just like that, great finish by the young midfielder who's had a good second half since he came off the bench. And we'll see now what's going to happen with after the replay.
Steinwasser did everything he could.
Yeah, unfortunate touch by Zach Shiwi. James DeCosimo, the sub off the bench at halftime, and Alec Green, another sub. So Coach Miller with Lansing probably going to be very happy with some of his selections off the bench today.
Again, every button he's pushed has seemed to be the right one here today.
Yeah, and again, the interesting question now, Grant Stoneman, who was playing center back, has been pushed up with Neil Slooves coming off the bench, but does not look like they're making any changes, and they're going to keep him up there. So we'll see if he can give them an extra punch going forward, or if this Detroit set piece can tilt the scales a little bit right now.
Here comes a corner for City in the 84th minute of a now 2-2 game. Serve towards the back post, away from everyone. TJ Stevens was saying that Lansing United touched that before it went across the line, but the referee disagrees and awards a goal kick.
Yeah, I think TJ was hoping to get an additional corner kick on the other side. Obviously, Mark Lawrence, the center referee, did not agree with him. And you see Coach Pierman pulling out all the stops right now with the defense. Their left back, Zach Sheeby, coming off for an additional attacker. Looks like they're trying to win this game at home in front of the Northern Guard. Very aggressive attacking move here, putting Ali Al-Gashami on the field.
So the intent of Ben Pierman is clear right here with what he's looking to do.
Absolutely, he is going for the win. Again, both teams want to get that third goal, but at risk of what is always the question. And that is Grant Stoneman right there, the center back, who's been pushed up into attacking position, drawing a foul, which can allow Lansing to put numbers forward with 5 minutes left in regulation. These set pieces can be all the difference in the world.
As things begin to tighten. That's Santala over. He will give way.
Again, a set piece has been the difference so far for Lansing early in the half. Can they recreate something on a knockdown here?
Ryan Scott sends it into the box. It's knocked down. Lansing United wanted a handball. Neil Slooves has it. Drops it off. Ball popped high into the air. It's played out of bounds. Throw in for DCFC. Gashami touches it in right away. Boy, nifty pass up ahead.
Chamakov lays it all on the line. That was a clear foul there, but he went out of his way to make sure he did everything he could to try to win that ball. And again, Ali Al-Gashami right off the bench, springing that counterattack and trying one again with his first touch forward.
Ball will be sent in to the Northern Guard. So a throw-in coming here for Detroit City. We're in the 87th minute. We're tied at 2. The Rouge took a 1-0 lead into the halftime locker room. Lansing United equalized in the 48th minute. And a pair of late goals. Detroit City took the 2-1 lead. Lansing United equalized about 4 minutes later. And that is where we stand. Neil Rule, Cale Wasserman with you. Happy to have you along wherever you may be watching around the world. Extra special hello to those of you watching us on FoxSportsDetroit.com. On the left side, there's Danny Deacon mixing it up. That ball's played out of bounds. Cody Getzinger will trot over to throw it back in. Both these coaches, Ben Pierman for Detroit City, Nate Miller for Lansing United, have put an all hands on deck approach here to this final 5 minutes. Chamakov with the touch. Gashami will run it down. And now it's Chamakov to Ibarra. Ibarra with a shot, and the save is made by Jimmy Haig.
Again, that's a save that the goalkeeper should make, but Ibarra, fresh legs, right back. Again, some of Detroit's best chances come from outside backs, right and left backs getting forward into the attack, but Jimmy Haig did everything he needed to do to get his team going the other way. And I can say this, as loud as the Northern Guard were for the first half.
That ball's loose inside the box. It gets by Steinwasser. And the play is whistled down.
Yeah, looks like a challenge on Steinwasser was called by Mark Lawrence. But again, back to the Northern Guard. They are getting louder as the minutes dwindle here. And that's something that can help Detroit push themselves over the edge. But Lansing, again, is creating chances, getting some numbers forward. And they'll have to be careful that yes, they want to win and score, Detroit does, but they have to be careful they don't give one up, because Lansing looks very dangerous with these longer balls and second balls in behind and knockdowns.
Tyler Channel comes in for Troy Watson. Al-Gashami settles it down and goes to work, touches it up ahead. Bautista on the run, and another sprawling save made by Haig.
Yeah, great save, great job coming off his line, exiting early, getting his hands down at the ball. Unbelievable pass from Gashami, though, to spring. I believe that was Javi Bautista again. Yeah, that's just a good soccer play from all parts there. Good pass, good run in behind, and Jimmy Haig great off his line.
Corner sent in, it's headed away. Ibarra will settle it down. And he curls one towards the bar, and Jimmy Haig.
Yeah, and Ibarra scored probably the goal of the year. I believe it was last year away at Buffalo from about 30 yards out like that. So he won't be shy if he gets an opportunity.
"90 minutes in the books. We're in stoppage time. The score tied at 2. Chamakoff wrong the sideline. We'll let it go on a play. Grant Stoneman knocks it down. Deacon. Long ball sent across.
And with Tyler Channel in the game now, an extra target on set pieces, as well as just a natural goal scorer when he gets his big body in front of stuff.
Deacon swings it out towards the left side. Knocking it down, Stevens. Not much on that as it's sent into the box. That ball touched up towards Haig. Haig plays it. 92nd minute we go. Two-2 game hanging in the balance. Nifty touch. Here comes Javi Bautista on the run in the box. A shot and another save made by Jimmy Haig.
Yeah, the speed up top has made all the difference for Detroit, but Cyrus Sadie on the back post may have been open if Javi could have slotted that ball across. Again, Jimmy Haig very strong today on saving the stuff that he is supposed to save.
Here comes Lansing United now on a counterattack. That ball's touching the box. Nathan Steinwasser up with it quickly.
Game's opening up. You've got about 60 yards from back to front, from the attacking players to the defending players, which is never good if you're worried about defensive organization. But both teams going for it in the attack here.
Al-Gashami crosses over. Swings it out towards the left side. Cyrus Sadie has it. Sadie makes his way into the box. Stops, starts again. His cross knocked out. A throw-in coming as we're into the 93rd minute. Get a whistle away from the ball. Not quite sure what happened, but the end result is Lansing United will have it.
I believe an offside call on that back pass there.
The offside flag was up, you're correct. Tucked all the way down in that corner down there.
Yeah, and for as good as Jimmy Haig's been, that's his second or third goal kick and pass out of the back that hasn't been as clean as he would have liked. Again, they got lucky on that one and earned a throw-in for their own team, but one mistake like that, a knockdown, could have Tyler Channel running the other way or Javi Bautista running the other way. So he's going to have to be careful in these dying minutes here that his distribution is as good as his saves have been.
Can't be much time left now.
Yeah, and with Dewey Lewis out of the game, we'll see who takes this throw in for Lansing, but looks like they're loading the box for a long throw here.
We're into the 94th minute. Throw in sent towards the box. Seth Harris sends that one away with little difficulty. Now a corner kick awarded.
Yeah, great first header out by Sebi. He's experienced, he's got the size and athleticism, but they're going to have to defend another delivery here in the dying minutes. Again, set pieces have been an issue in this league for almost all teams, but Detroit has felt the pain already today, conceding a goal early in the half.
So here we go. Ball sent in. Seb Harris again rises to the challenge. And the whistle sounds, and we will end things in a 2-2 draw. Very entertaining game here today. And Cale, really, it had a lot of everything. Physicality, goals, tremendous goalkeeping. If you like soccer, you like this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was really good to see a little bit of a tactical chess match in the second half with some changes that were made, not only formation and style-wise, but also personnel-wise. And I think both teams will be very happy with the guys that came off the bench and helped create chances and keep the ball and give each team a boost in the second half. But again, Detroit's going to want that one back. Being up 2-1 after taking a little bit of hit early in the half, they bounced back, and as soon as they scored, had a little bit of a letdown and let some points get away.
So Detroit City now will see their record move to 1 win, 2 losses, and 3 draws. Lansing United with 1 win, 2 losses, and now 4 draws. So they've missed some opportunities here to scoop up some points, especially with Ann Arbor drawing against a Dayton Dynamo in a bit of a surprise result. So both teams had an opportunity to pick up some ground, but they will all have to settle for a 2-2 draw. And really, this was a game, Kayla. As I said, you saw everything. No matter what part of soccer you like, you saw it at some point here today.
Yeah, it was entertaining. There was building out of the back. There was direct play. There was set pieces. There was physicality, tackles. Post-game, after the whistle, shenanigans here and there, some guys pushing in getting in each other's faces, but also from a fan's perspective, some great attacking moments from both teams, not only with some combinations, overlaps, crosses, but also just some counterattack moments, which at the end of the day, sometimes that's the most exciting moment in a soccer game, when there's good possession going one way, and the next thing you know, it's 2v2 on a foot race running, and I thought both teams did a good job neutralizing some of those counterattacks, but again, at the end of the day, chances were left that should have been scored, and I think both teams will have kind of looked back on this and know that they could have had a chance to get 3 points, but allowed the other team to stay in it.
Jimmy Haig and Nathan Steinwasser were great in both goals. And right now we'll send it down to our sideline reporter, Lindsey Pearson, standing by with head coach Ben Pierman. Lindsey.
Thanks, Neil. Guys, I'm with Coach Ben Pierman. Coach, what did you see out of your team in the second half there?
A little bit more of the same. I mean, we put ourselves in a hole like minute and a half in. I mean, I think that's the 4th game in 6 that we've conceded 5 minutes into the second half. So bad coaching, I don't know. We got to fix that. But honestly, for 85 minutes tonight, that was the best this club's ever played. We were unbelievable. Those guys worked their tails off. We played great. I hope we gave them a show. I mean, honestly, I think we could have scored 10 to 15 goals tonight. We played that well. But you can't give up 2 goals at home, and you can't blow 2 leads at home. So with that being said, I give Nate and Lansing credit. They stuck with it. They went direct, got to some stuff. They took their chances, and they could even snuck one there at the end as well. So, you know, it's one of those games. You know, we're finishing stuff. We've got a lot of goals. We got to stop conceding.
And what are the takeaways you can bring into next Sunday versus Kalamazoo at home?
I mean, we played good possession. We moved the ball well. We got to start defending better. Those spots on top of the box, I think it's 4 or 5 games now. We're killing ourselves. We're setting ourselves back in the table. We're blowing points. We got to defend those critical areas. We got to save the ball. We got to clear corners. We got to defend this part of the field. We do everything else about as well as I've ever seen. So, other than that, we're doing well. Our work rate was good. I can't blame the guys.
All right, thanks, Coach. And guys, I'm joined here by Danny Deacon. Danny, you can come over here. Danny, 90 minutes of action for you in the midfield. What did you see out of your teammates today?
I thought the first half, you know, we knocked the ball about rather well, played some decent stuff, probably the best stuff we played all season, but I don't know, it's kind of the same old story. The second half, we kind of drop off, we let them get in the game, and then just really scrappy goals to concede, you know. I don't think they really worked to carve us open, they were just scrappy goals, and it's the same old story, so yeah, frustrating.
And it's frustrating, but what are some positive takeaways you can bring into next Sunday at home versus Kalamazoo?
Yeah, I mean, we move the ball well. I think if we carry on doing that, and I mean, you can feel the chemistry's getting a bit better now. We've got a lot of really good individual players, but the kind of chemistry hasn't been there. But I think we're starting to gel a bit better together now, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of positives. We scored 2 good goals. We could have had more. So yeah, I mean, we'll just move on to the next game.
And this is your first season with City. Can you talk about what it's like to play in front of these supporters?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, for an NPSL league, like it's unbelievable. The fans, they're here every game. Honestly, there's no words for it. They just come out in the numbers, and they create a great atmosphere for us to play in.
Thanks, Danny. Great job tonight. Neil, back to you.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. 2-2 will be the final score here today between Detroit City FC and the Lansing United. Let's take a look at what's been going on around the league after this 2-2 draw here today. Kalamazoo with the 1-0 victory over the Michigan Stars. And as we talked about during the broadcast, Ann Arbor on the road at Dayton, yes, but a bit of a surprise result there. Ann Arbor have been playing so well to start this year, a 1-1 draw against Dayton. So something that we talked about, both these teams had an opportunity to climb the ladder, but the draw here today really prevents both of them from doing so.
Yeah, you see Michigan Stars in the middle of the table dropping points yesterday, and then with Ann Arbor with a draw today and a late Dayton goal, both Lansing United and Detroit City FC are going to be looking at themselves in the mirror tonight saying, could we have had 3 points and jumped some spots in the table with 5-6 games to go in the regular season?
Absolutely, that is the case. So we will take a look at what's upcoming for Detroit City FC. They have an opportunity now to make some hay here at home next Sunday right here at 5 p.m. against Kalamazoo FC. Right here at Keyworth Stadium. Then the Dayton Dynamo will come in the following Saturday, June 25th at 7:30. So Saturday night action here at Keyworth. And then get your holiday weekend started off right. Friday night, Grand Rapids will be in town. That's Friday, July 1st at 7:30 p.m. We will have all the action for you right here. But if you have the opportunity, make sure you come down to historic Keyworth Stadium and take in the atmosphere. And really one of the best times you're going to have here in Detroit sports. Now it's time for the Metro PCS game report. And there's how it all went down. A lot of action. Tommy Catalano got the party started in the 33rd minute with a goal and then mixed it up with Jake Prudhomme about 11 minutes later. Both players picking up the yellow card. James DeCosmo checked into the game to start the second half, and 2 minutes later found the back of the net to equalize this match at 1. And Jeff Adkins put Detroit City ahead 2-1 with a goal in the 79th minute with the assist from Bautista. But the lead was short-lived as Alec Green scored for Lansing United in the 83rd minute to square this match at 2. And that was how it ended here this afternoon for Detroit City FC and the Lansing United. So a very exciting affair, a very chippy affair at times. A lot of goals as well, and also a lot of tremendous goalkeeping. But in the end, the two teams would have to settle for the 2-2 draw. Be sure you check out the online game recap at vimeo.com/Detroit City FC. For our broadcast partner, Cale Wasserman, and our entire crew, this is Neil Rule reminding you one final time. We draw at 2 between Lansing United and Detroit City FC. Thank you for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.